São Paulo, Garulhos, Governador André Franco Montoro International Airport, popularly known locally as Cumbica Airport after the district where it is located and the Brazilian Air Force Base that still exists at the airport complex, is the main international airport serving São Paulo, Brazil. It is located in the municipality of Garulhos in Greater São Paulo. Since November 28, 2001, the airport has been named after André Franco Montoro, former governor of São Paulo State. The airport was rebranded as GRU Airport in 2012. In Brazil, the airport was ranked first in terms of transported passengers, aircraft operations, and cargo handled in 2012, placing it as the busiest airport in Latin America by passenger traffic. Garulhos has slot restrictions, operating with a maximum of 45 operations per hour and being one of the 5 airports with such restrictions in Brazil. Since 2012, the airport has been operated by a consortium composed of Invepar SA, Airports Company South Africa, and Infraero. Some of its facilities are shared with the São Paulo Air Force Base of the Brazilian Air Force. The Tropic of Capricorn goes directly through runway 09 up 27L, at exactly 23 degrees 26 minutes 13.8 seconds south, 46 degrees 28 minutes 52.8 seconds west as of April 2016. History. On June 6, 1967, in response to the growth of the air traffic in Brazil, the Brazilian military government initiated studies concerning the renovation of the airport infrastructure in Brazil. As part of the conclusions of these studies, because of the location, strategic importance, and security issues, new passenger facilities would be constructed in the areas of Galeão Air Force Base in Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo Air Force Base in São Paulo. In relation to São Paulo, the initial planning of the airport involved 3 runways and 4 passenger terminals. However, the first phase of the construction, comprising 2 runways and 2 terminals, started only on August 11, 1980. The airport was officially inaugurated on January 20, 1985. Quickly, Garulhos became the city's primary airport, supplanting São Paulo Congonhas Airport. In 1989, the runways were extended and the terminals renovated, enlarged, and had the capacity increase from 7.5 million to 8.25 million passengers per year. The whole complex covered 13.86 square kilometers, of which 5 square kilometers is urbanized area. Construction of Terminal 3, capable of handling 12 million passengers per year, had been planned since 2001, but due to a myriad of political and economic problems, the actual construction didn't begin until 2011. In 2010, the airport served more than 26.8 million passengers, an increase of 24% over 2009, and passenger volumes were 31% in excess of its capacity, rated at 20.5 million per year at its present configuration. In order to relieve the acute overcrowding at Terminals 1 and 2, Infraero announced on May 17, 2011 that the former cargo terminals of defunct airlines VASP and Trans-Brazil, later used by federal agencies, would undergo renovations and adaptations for use as domestic passenger terminals with remote boarding. This new terminal was initially called Terminal 4. The first phase of the renovations, comprising the former VASP terminal, opened on February 8, 2012, and the second phase, comprising the former Trans-Brazil terminal, was opened in June 2013. Contrary to what had been announced before, the new terminal will be permanent. WebJet was the first airline to use the new facility. The new terminal, in its first phase, increased the capacity of the airport in 5.5 million passengers per year and, in the second phase, to 8 million passengers per year. In total, Garulhos would then be able to handle 28.5 million passengers per year, following a decision made on April 26, 2011 by the federal government for private companies being granted concessions to explore some infra-aero airports. On February 6, 2012, the administration of the airport was conceded for 20 years to the consortium Invepa ACSA, composed by the Brazilian Invepa, an investments and funds society, and the South African ACSA Airports Company South Africa. Infra-aero, the state-run organization, will remain with 49% of the shares of the company incorporated for the administration. On the 2nd of December 2015, the airport's terminals were renumbered. Former Terminal 4 was renumbered Terminal 1. Former Terminals 1 and 2, which were wings of a single building, became the new Terminal 2. Terminal 3 kept its numbering. The new numbering reflects the order by which terminals are reached when one arrives at the airport by the access road, and is expected to be less confusing in the long term. Check-in counters and gates were also renumbered, with the first digit being now the new terminal number. Facilities, runways and taxiways. GRU has two parallel runways. Runway 09-27L is 3,000 meters long and 45 meters wide, while runway 09L-27N is 3,700 meters long and 45 meters wide. The field elevation at the airport is 750 meters above mean sea level. There are high-speed exit taxiways on both runways that allow for traffic to depart the runway at higher speed to allow better efficiency for landing and takeoff traffic. Right now, there is an average of 650 takeoff and landing operations per day at the airport. On the 28th of October 2015, the National Civil Aviation Agency of Brazil authorized Airbus A380 operations at Guarulhos Airport, effective 4 days later. The authorization was granted after extensive works were conducted on the taxiways and special taxiing procedures were established. As of July 2016, there are still no regular A380 flights at São Paulo Garulhos, but on the 14th of November 2015, Emirates operated a one-time special flight with the Super Jumbo on its Dubai-São Paulo route to commemorate its 8 years of operations in Brazil. Terminals. The airport has 3 passenger terminals, numbered 1, 2, and 3, according to their order along the airport access road when arriving from the city. Terminal 1 is the smallest and simplest. It has only domestic flights, and as of July 2016, only 2 airlines operate there, Azul and Passaredo. Terminal 1 has no jet bridges and no direct access to the other terminals, which can only be reached by a free shuttle bus. Terminal 2 is the oldest and largest, and for many years was the sole airport terminal. Although its 2 wings were considered different terminals at the time, it has the majority of domestic flights and to Latin American destinations, as well as a few intercontinental flights. Terminal 3 is the newest and most modern. It has only international flights and concentrates most long-haul intercontinental traffic, in addition to the LATAM Group's Latin American flights. 5 of the terminal's gates can accommodate the Airbus A380. Terminals 2 and 3 are directly linked by a walkway. The airport also has a large air cargo terminal with a built area of 97,000 square meters and capable of handling any type of cargo, including refrigerated and hazardous shipments. Navigational aids. There are two navigational aids that GRU traffic uses. The Bonsusa, so very high frequency omnidirectional range with distance measuring equipment, is located 9.1 kilometers, 5.6 miles to the east of GRU. Future developments. Infraero unveiled a 1,489.5 million reals investment plan to upgrade Guarulhos International Airport, focusing on preparations for the 2014 FIFA World Cup and the Summer Olympics in 2016. The investment was supposed to be used as follows: construction of additional taxiways, cost 19 million reals, completion April 2016. Enlargement of apron and taxiways, cost 370 reals, 5M, completion May 2016. Construction of passenger terminal 3, cost 1,100 million reals, completed March 2014. Opened for Star Alliance Airlines in May. Central to this investment plan is Terminal 3, which is projected to add 12 million passenger capacity to the 17 million of the existing two terminals. Plans for a third runway were decided to be technically impracticable and were cancelled in January 2008. However, the former concessionary, Infraero, experienced many legal and bureaucratic difficulties, which prevented most of these improvements from being completed on schedule. As of April 2013, the new concessionary unveiled a new expansion project, which included the new Terminal 3, the widening of the main runway in order to enable operations by the new Airbus A380 and Boeing 747-8, and several other improvements in the existing terminals and parking area. The terminal is now officially open and all Star Alliance airlines are in Terminal 3, as well as many other overseas carriers. International flights by LATAM also use the facility. A train service development and construction has also been planned. This includes an airport express line linking the airport to downtown São Paulo and a Rio-São Paulo high-speed rail connecting Guarulhos to Rio de Janeiro, Galeão and Campinas Viracopo airports. As of 2016, however, both projects are stalled. The suburban rail service to the city is scheduled to start operations in 2019, with a 101 million Brazilian reals budget overrun. Airlines and destinations. Passenger cargo statistics. Accidents and incidents. On the 28th of January 1986, a VASP Boeing 737-2A1 registered PPSME flying from Guarulhos to Belo Horizonte unknowingly tried to take off from Guarulhos during foggy conditions from a taxiway. The takeoff was aborted, but the aircraft overran, collided with a dike and broke in two. One passenger died. On the 21st of March 1989, a trans-Brazil cargo Boeing 707-349C registered PTTCS operating Flight 801, flying from Manaus to São Paulo Guarulhos, crashed at the district of Vila Barros in Guarulhos shortly before touchdown at runway 09R. That day, at 12 o'clock, the runway was going to be closed for maintenance and the crew decided to speed up procedures to touchdown before closure. In a hurry, one of the crew members, by mistake, activated the aerodynamic brakes, and the aircraft lost too much speed to have enough aerodynamic support. As a consequence, the aircraft crashed approximately 2 kilometers from the airport. There were 25 fatalities, of which 3 were crew members and 22 were civilians on the ground. As well as the 22 fatalities, there were also over 100 injured on the ground. On the 2nd of March 1996, a Madrid taxi Aéreo Gates Learjet 25D registered PTLSD transporting the Brazilian comedy rock band Mamonas Assassinas crashed into Cantareira mountain range, located north of the airport, at 23:16 local time, killing all 9 passengers on board. The aircraft was on final approach to land on the runway 09 but went around. As it flew toward the runway for a second attempt to land, the ATC instructed the pilots to make a right turn heading south, but they turned north and crashed into the mountain range at 3,300 feet, 10.0 kilometers from the airport. On the 14th of September 2002, a total Linhas Aéreas ATR 42-312 registered PTMTS on a cargo flight between São Paulo, Guarulhos and Londrina crashed while en route near Paranapanema. A crew of 2 died. Access. The airport is located 25 kilometers from downtown São Paulo. The airport has its own highway system, Rodovia Helio Schmidt Highway, which connects the airport to Presidente Dutra Highway or Ayrton Senna Highway. Residents of Garulhos can access the road via Monteiro Lobato Avenue. Taxi stands are located outside each of the 2 terminals on the arrivals level. Inside there are car rental agency representatives. Bus transportation is available through the airport bus service, an executive bus line, administered by EMTU and operated by Consórcio Internorte Area 3. This service provides transportation connecting Guarulhos to Congonhas Airport, to Tietê Bus Terminal, to Palmeiras Barra Funda Intermodal Terminal, to Faria Lima Avenue, to República Square, to Berrini Avenue, Itambibe District, and to the circuit of hotels along Paulista Avenue and Rua Augusta. The ride takes about 1 hour, depending on traffic. At the airport, tickets can be purchased at the counter located outside the lounge of the Terminal 1 Wing B's arrivals level. Passaro Maran EMTU, a syndicate of the Internorte Consortium, offers 2 regular bus lines, 257 and 299, connecting Tatuapé subway station with Guarulhos Airport every 30 minutes. At Tatuapé, both buses can be picked up on the street level. At the airport, the stop for both buses is on the median of the arrivals level road connecting Terminals 1 and 2. Gol Airlines and LATAM offer for their passengers free bus transfers between Guarulhos and Congonhas airports at regular times. Viacao Comurtha offers daily departures to and from the airport and the cities of Santos, Sorocaba, São Vicente, and Praia Grande. Learabis operates daily buses between the airport and Campinas. Passaro Maran offers bus services to São José dos Campos with departures every 2 hours. Viacao Transdutra connects the airport with the city of Aruja. Rail. Currently, there is no rail access to Guarulhos. Line 13 of the São Paulo's suburban rail system, operated by CPTM, is under construction and was expected to begin operating in 2015. But as of 2016 the start of operations has been postponed to 2019.